Yeah, I promised to also talk a bit about hope, or what I will choose to call good hope. Um, I noticed there's been some election thing going on in America over the last days, and so to contrast the good hope, I will talk about the uh, bad hope or futile hope. That's the hope everybody is familiar with. I like, say, the Senate in America being dominated by one party, or the House or the Congress being dominated by that party, and sort of the hope that the entire free press is putting into those things is that if that party wins or that party wins this or that chamber of power, then we will somehow magically uh, stop climate change, or turn the entire apparatus of the industrial war machine around, just like that, just by turning off a switch. And of course, that's not going to happen anytime soon, and it will not happen in these time frames of you know 2 to 5 years. There's not going to be a total shift in the capitalistic system in such a short time, and you have experts saying that it's too late to make a significant dent in the trend of global warming. It's already a runaway train. It's self-reinforced. You have feedbacks left and right that make sure that it's going to keep warming, whether we choose that political party or not, or whether we start taking the subway or train instead of our car. It's long-term cycles and feedbacks that are already chock full of carbon. Carbon that's hiding in the ocean for a while and then being released to the atmosphere again, or carbon that's been stored for hundreds of thousands of years in the tundra of Siberia, in the permafrost. All of these things, they don't respect political elections in Europe or America or Australia or anything. It's these are natural processes, and they may be triggered by human industrial civilization, but these days they are already triggered, and they don't need any more triggers from humans to keep going. So and sort of the hope connected with this, the good hope, is that we are on a course for civilization collapse, and that means that the war machine, the deep state, and what George Orwell called the perpetual wars, that wars are fought for profit and to keep the population in check. The security state and all of these things are sort of founded on the principle of being at war at any moment. So because we are at war against Oceania or whatever, that means that everybody has to be monitored and controlled by the government, and the deep state wants that sort of system to be in place all the time for its own reasons, to better control their populations. So they wage wars so that their own companies can get the profits from the war industry and from the armament industry and from the aircraft industry and everything. But all of that is going to collapse, of course, together with the industrial civilization. And if you get the kind of feedbacks that are written about in the scientific press, with the carbon in the Arctic, these estimates for a half year of no sea ice in the Arctic are also pretty good estimates for when agricultural crops and whatever feeds human civilization are also going to collapse. So the sea ice is not just some kind of nerdy fascination for one little aspect of the planet, but it's closely connected to our own societies, our civilizations all over the planet. And when the ice collapses, civilization will collapse, will follow very soon, and that's the end of most of the things that good people have been fighting against for so many decades and centuries. That's the end of the war machine. That's the end of all kinds of, oppression and torture, and So even though the years after the civilization collapse are not going to be a walk in the park, to put it mildly, at least we won't have all of these senseless wars. We won't have drone strikes killing everybody at weddings. We won't have torture and governments prying into everything we do. So I think, given the choice we have of things to be hopeful about and things that are even remotely possible to come true, I think this hope is, to be quite honest, it's the only hope we can offer. And do tell me what you think about this little rant and what you sort of hope you can see yourself. And I'm hoping to be able to invite to a conversation so that we together can find out what things are meaningless to hope about and what things are at least, possible. They may come true, and it won't be a perfect, easy, or very pleasant world, but it will be a new world anyway. So, okay, bye.